This is a detailed watch me do it tutorial on how to register group of companies. In a simple explanation, group of companies refers to the incorporation of minimum 3 companies on the Corporate Affairs Commission or any legal agency. Okay, so for you to register a group of companies, there must be at least 3 companies which are referred to as subsidiaries. So these companies would have shareholders, would have persons with significant control. So you can't register business names as group of companies. So all group of companies registration, all the subsidiaries must be limited liabilities. Okay, so having known the meaning, this is just the simplest explanation, but if you need more details, please I advise that you consult your dictionary and of course Google. But what I will say in its simplest explanation involves the word subsidiaries, involves that's what it just involves. That's the involvement of group of companies, because if there are no subsidiaries, then there is no need to call a company group. So for a company to be called group, there are subsidiaries, and those subsidiaries are corporate companies that have been incorporated already. So having known all of this, let's get into the practical part. And in this practical part, I'll be telling you the documents and everything you need that is required to register the group of companies. So first of all, we need to access your CAC dashboard, because that is where we are going to be carrying on this incorporation of the company. So like I've always said, you need to do a name reservation before you can do a proper incorporation. So if you don't know how to do a name reservation, please, this is what I'll be doing first of all, because that is what you are needed to do before you can incorporate a company on the Corporate Affairs Commission. So, but this is a very critical step So you need to pay attention to everything that I'll be explaining via this tutorial. So I'll be tempted to use one of the informations on this not submitted, but for you that want to start afresh, please click on this new name reservation. I hope you're getting the point. So when you click on this new name reservation, it's going to open up a form like this for you, but I do not want to add this to the not submitted form. Okay, so I'll be clicking on this not submitted. Okay, fine, let's just go ahead with the new name reservation. So when I click on that, it's going to open up my dashboard like this, and now we have this company type, we have the specific type. So what you're going to be selecting here is actually a company, because you won't see it here as a group of company. So you choose your company, and then you can click if it's either a private or public or private, just choose. So this is a private company limited by shares. Then you go ahead to fix the name right here. So it's actually a restricted name, so you are expected to have that message of a restriction on it, and you for you to apply for a reservation code. So let's assume that we want to incorporate the name Alexa. Let me type in Alexa groups, and no, let's say Alexa, or let's just say Omaglo group. You can see that the restriction is already out. So Omaglo, let's say Omaglo group of companies completed. So we are just going with one option, and for this registration we are going to be clicking on group holdings and not a new incorporation, neither registration of business name. So this is the option right here for this registration. That is why I said you need a minimum of 3 incorporated companies on the Corporate Affairs Commission. So after selecting your reason for availability search, you click on apply for reservation code. You don't go ahead to click on save and continue because it won't allow you to proceed. So now we have been doing company registration, and this shouldn't be a new thing to us. So if you have not seen the video on how to register a company, please, I'll be linking that in this video description for you to go ahead and see it. So now we are going to be filling all these details: number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for the number 1, it's details of the entity. So these are the details you'll be filling, which is a classification. So you go ahead to explore what classification best fits this business. So if it's a business, you go ahead to fix, like, if is it a real estate, whatsoever, just go ahead, explore. So what I advise, if you do not know the particular niche for your business when registering, please go ahead to choose this administrative, because it allows you to choose the option of general contract or general merchandise. But if you know what you want, or you just want to explore, please go on each classification one by one and look into all the options given, so that you can be able to choose your business activity classification. So for this tutorial, I'll be going ahead with the general contract. After providing details of the business activity, you are to go ahead to fill the details of the email, company registered address, and then if there is a head office address, you go ahead, which attracts, I think, a fee of 1,500 naira. So after filling all these details, you click on save and continue. So I'll quickly go ahead to fill these details because I want the video to be short and also detailed. The next on our list is the articles of association. So you have to fill these informations of the witness, and of course, as usual, you adopt your default articles, or you add your articles if you have it written down by a lawyer or by a professional. But for the purpose of this video, we'll be adopting the default article, and after that we'll be clicking on save and continue to navigate through the object of memorandum, directors and secretary. Having clicked on save and continue, it's going to take you to the object of memorandum. This is the part where you are to give details, like full details, in-depth details of the company. I also have a video on how to generate and draft out your object of memorandum like a professional. So if you need that video, please check the video description. You're going to see the link. It's free, like it's just there waiting for you to eat and digest the information. So for this tutorial, in order not to make it any longer, because I don't want to emphasize so much on this name reservation, where the main information is going to be is on the approved name. So I will just try to be as fast as possible so that we can move over to the approved name for this tutorial. After filling your object of memorandum, you are to click on save and continue to get to the directors and secretary informations to fill. So you have to add your director, and you need minimum of 2 directors. Please ignore this information you are seeing here. You say please note you must have at least 1 director. So note that you need 2 directors, a secretary to pass through this registration, but you might not really be queried during the time of your reservation, but on your main application to register, you'll be queried on that. So if you have one directors for now, please submit, but when you're submitting the full registration, provide 2 directors, minimum 2 directors. You can add as many as you want, but 2 directors must be provided and a secretary must be provided. So you are going to fill this director information. Like I said, you can fill one now and then you fill the other when the name has been approved, and then also you can fill for the individual secretary now or fill it when the name has been approved. So for the purpose of this tutorial to be short, I'll just go ahead to fill one director for this information. When you are done providing the details of the directors and secretary, depending on either you want to fill for the secretary now or later after the name reservation, okay, so you have to fill your statement of compliance. You can either use the details of the accredited agent, or the accredited agent, I mean the owner of the portal. But instead of you disturbing the owner of the portal, please go ahead to use details of the director. It's allowed. So you have to fill the details of the director in this compliance information. Then after that, you click on save and continue to upload your documents. So this brings us to the document we are supposed to be uploading for our name reservation. So note that for the reservation of a name carrying or bearing group, you do not need a consent letter or a copy of the business name. What you'll be needing are the documents of the 3 companies, which involves the CAC certificate, their status report, their MEMAT, and also a resolution letter. So for the 3 companies, you can just upload one at the option 1, then upload the second company for the supporting document 2, then upload the third document for supporting document 3, and then you click on save and continue. So when you upload this document, you're going to preview all your informations that you have entered, and then you make payment. So you won't be seeing asterisks here that the document is compulsory or the documents are compulsory, but yes, those documents are mandatory. Without those documents, you won't be getting an approval. You'll be getting query upon query that you should comply. Until you comply, you won't get an approval of the name. So sometimes in a case where you have the documents complete and you are being queried to upload something, you either have to mail the ICT department or email help desk, because at times that is an AI query. Maybe the AI is not reading the information correctly. That is only when you have uploaded all the document that is required of you. Okay, so you upload those documents and then you click on save and continue. So you know that this is for the purpose of the main name that has been reserved, so there are no documents for me to upload. So I'll be clicking on save and continue, because our main focus is on the name that has been reserved and not this name. So when you are done, like you have clicked on the save and continue, you have to preview your details. Please take this as a real job. You preview your information, make sure that everything is correct before you make payment. Though after payment, and if your name has been approved, you can also edit your information. But for the name, okay, you can also do a name substitution to correct the name if there's a mistake. But please, in order to avoid you losing out in profit and all of that, make sure that you preview your information. So after previewing your information, you click on your payment, and the payment is actually 5,000 naira. Okay, let's just go ahead to see the payment by ourselves. Yeah, like I said, the payment for the reservation of this name is 5,000 naira. So you have to click on your remitter here, then you make your payment, and then you wait for the name to be approved. So once you make your payment, it's either your name is on not submitted or it's on pending queried. So if it's on not submitted and you have made your payment, you have to go back to your not submitted and click on your check status to move your name from not submitted to pending. So now that we already have a name to work on, I'll be clicking on not submitted because I already opened the job. Okay, so we have our name there, and this is a name we'll be using for the tutorial. All right, so I'm going to click on this name right here. You can see upon a group of companies. So to continue this registration, I'll click on continue. It's very easy. You just have to pay attention to everything that I'm saying. So while you click on save and continue, it's going to open up the share details for you to fill. Remember that while we were doing the name reservation, we actually filled some informations that will be required for a company registration. So you can relate why this registration is continuing. You can relate why the registration started from the informations of statement of issue share capital. So yeah, so once we are on this page, you have to choose your type of company. If it's issuing house, broker, trustee, whatsoever. So we are going to be going with this entity with shares below 5 million. And then for your issue share capital, you might be wondering what is the minimum. So you can register minimum of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Like, just go ahead, but the minimum is actually 1 million, not the minimum. But you know that instead of you to register 100k for the same price, why not take it to 1 million shares? Because the price for 100k shares is also the same as 1 million shares. So why reduce your company worth? Because the shares is not actually the amount that you own, but the worth of your company. So instead of taking your company worth down, it's best you just increase it to the like your minimum, that is also the same charges for 100k worth of company. So this is the information for you. Okay, so the breakdown, actually I did explain this in company registration, but I'm just going to do that here again. Okay, so for your preference or for your class of shares, you are either choosing equity or ordinary. So like I said, equity, it's owned shares, but preference, it's not owned shares. So for more information, please consult your dictionary and your Google. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going with equity. So you can actually choose equity shares. Okay, but if you understand the basics, you are supposed to know that we are correct in choosing ordinary shares. Then for this part of issued share capital, you go ahead to repeat your 1 million. So let's say if you chose 2 million here, what should be in your issued share capital is 2 million. And if you chose 3 million here, what should be here should be 3 million. The information or the figures here should correspond with whatsoever information you are giving in this issue share capital, and also the divided into should also correspond. So let's say we chose 1 million and what should be written here is 1 million. I see so many persons making the mistake even after making a very deed, and I'm so pained. Like, you make a mistake of using wrong values just because you do not have time. So what's so difficult in paying attention in a video that will help you? Like you just watch the video from the back, or I don't know how you watch the video. Like, I was so pained. Like, no, seriously, I was so pained when I saw someone making this mistake. Not just that person, but other persons making this mistake when I took my time to explain the video so well. So but for that purpose, or for that reason, I decided that I'll be paying more attention to this. So let me delete all of this and take this example once more. So let's say that I want this company to have a minimum share of 5 million. Okay, so I want them to have a minimum of 5 million. What details should be here are the details of what we have on the total issued share capital, which is 5 million. So I'll be filling that here and also here. So what you should have here is also 5 million. Please, this is how the format should be. If you do not follow it like this, you are going to mess up your registration. It's going to be scattered. So the part where you should now, okay, some persons gave reasons of saying that there are multiple shareholders. Whether you have multiple shareholders or you have 10 or you have one person, this is not where you are to share. This is not where you are to allot. Like, this whole place is not for allotment. The place for allotment is right here. The place where you have as shareholder, that's where you allot shares. That's where you start dividing. They don't divide here. This is not divide. This is not division. This is not division. What we have here is not division. Okay, so if you have 10 million, I know this is not going to let us pass, but if you have 10 million or 1 billion, what should be here should correspond with your 1 billion. Okay, this should be 1 billion, and here also should be 1 billion. Okay, so I don't want to make mistakes. I think this is complete. The zeros are complete here. So whatever figure you are giving in your total issued share capital should correspond with your issued share capital. I don't know if I should shout or if I should scream it loud, but whatsoever information you have here, okay, let me do a favor by highlighting this. Whatever information you have here should be the same with the information you have here, and also be the same with information you have here. You don't need to fill these parts. Leave this part for this part to fill. So when you fill here, it's going to correspond here, and when you fill this part, it's going to correspond here. Okay, so after filling the information, let me go ahead to cancel this. Okay, let me leave it as 1000, because any information that we feel that is wrong here is going to affect us when I'm submitting the application. Okay, so I don't want it to affect it, because I will have to sleep on ICT information. Like, I will have to sleep on disturbing them to correct whatsoever information I feel here. So after filling this information, we are to add our shareholders. Remember that this is a group of company registration, so we are not dealing with individual shareholders. Now we are dealing with corporate shareholders. I remember that when you are doing the name reservation, you submitted 3 words. You submitted minimum of 3 companies, or let's say you submitted minimum of 5 companies, or whatsoever company, like you submitted numerous companies. So this is what you should be clicking, and not the individual shareholder. Please take note. And you don't need a minor shareholder. A minor shareholder doesn't have any business, like, they have no business here. This is a group of company registration, and what we need are corporate shareholders, which are the subsidiaries. So corporate shareholders are entities that have been registered on the Corporate Affairs Commission. So they have already been incorporated. So you are going to be seeing the difference right now. So when you click on these corporate shareholders, you're going to be seeing entity details like company name, registration number. So it means that the company must have been registered on the Corporate Affairs Commission. All right, so what you're going to do now is to fill the information of the company, the registration number. You fill the information of the signatory. So who is the signatory? The signatory is the person that will be signing all documents. So now, from the information of the directors that you gave, one person there has full rights to the company, so that person can be the person with the information of the signatory. Okay, so you have to fill the person's name here. You fill the first name, date of birth, and company address, and then the allotment. So this is where you then allot shares. So let's say that you incorporated 3 companies and you want to join the 3 companies as a group of company. So it means that you'll be dividing that 1 million shares into 3, or how you want to, like, you divide it how you want the shares to be splitted. Or let's say you are using 2 billion shares, you divide it how you want to, or how you want it to be splitted. Now this is where you allot the shares. So remember that we chose equity as the type of share allotment, but there's something now that I want you to take note. if I click on this information, this box is going to reduce, and there's something I want to explain, so I won't be clicking on that. So let's assume that I already clicked on it. All right, so I've clicked on it. And then for the number of allotted shares, so let's say for company A, we are giving company A 500k shares. So you're going to type in 500k shares, which is this figure right here. And then you fill, by then you have filled all this information, and then you click on add shareholder, and it's going to add here, right here. Then for company B, so since it's just remaining 500k shares, maybe you can say you give company B 300k shares. So when you fill for company B informations and everything, you click on add shareholder. So you have allotted 2 shares. You have allotted how many shares? You have allotted 800k shares to 2 different companies, and then we have 1 company left. So the remaining shares is 200k shares. So let's say you allot 200k shares to the remaining company, which is the last company. So let's say you have 10 companies, that means you are allotting 100k shares to each of the companies. So this is what I was avoiding, because I wanted you to see everything. So if I click on the, okay, it's not I think they have worked. I think there's a change on the portal, because of recent or before, like when you click on this, like this box will just reduce, like you will be seeing anything to fill, or maybe I don't know. I think there's a difference. All right, so when you feel okay, let me add a company. So let's say that let me just quickly fill the details so you see how it's going to appear right here. All right, so when you're done filling that for the corporate shareholder, it's going to show like this. It's going to show the name of the company and the wage number. Okay, so it's going to show the telephone number, the email, shares allotted. It's going to show as a corporate shareholder. All right, so when you are done, you click on save and continue, and it's going to automatically fill for you for your PLC. Please do not edit the information, leave it that way. So the PLC will automatically generate as the signatories information. So do not fill it, just leave it that way. So after the persons with significant control, it's going to take you back to that statement of compliance you initially filled during your name reservation. And then after that, you have to upload documents such as your means of identification, the signature of the signatory. Okay, you are not uploading signature of any company. You have to provide the signature of the signatory. All right, and then the means of identification of the directors. You don't need the secretary information. All right, so after you're done with uploading that, you preview, of course, and then you make payments. The payment is also the same. There's no high amount or low amount. All right, so you'll be making the payment of your 10,000 naira. Then after your 10,000 naira payment, you make your payment for stamp duty. So after your stamp duty payment, your application would move from not submitted to pending. Once it's reviewed, your application will be approved. So one thing I want you to notice that you need a minimum of 2 directors. You also need a secretary to scale through this registration. So this is a registration that I'm currently handling, and I decided to make a tutorial because we recently got a name approval for a different group of company registration, and we have completed the registration. And then I said, okay, since I'm now very experienced with this group of company, because I've been helping a lot of persons doing it, and it's killing my time, so I decided to make this video because I really need to be on a call with them for them to get the process done and all of that, or send voice notes, give directions and all of that. So since we have this video up here, please advise that you take your time, watch the video, understand it. Okay, and if you need samples of resolution letters, please do not forget to purchase a copy from us. And if you have any questions at all, please ask your questions, drop your questions in the comment section, anything at all. I'm gonna be there to answer you. And if you like this video, of course you should like the video. Please hit the like button, and if you've not subscribed to the channel, please be part of my family. Or you are telling me that I should stop making videos like this, and I'll freely stop because it's even time consuming. So this is 7:30, I'll be 7:20 and I'm making a video, and I do have exams coming up, so I will freely stop making videos and rest. So I need you to be part of the family, okay? So I need you to be part of the family. So please subscribe, it's free of charge. Subscribe so you can be notified each time I post any video that you like. It must not be CAC related, any video at all that you like. And that'll be all for now. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.